Hello, today we are making a butterfly out of paper. Please study these different types of butterflies and decide which one you want to make. Think about the shapes and the colors and the sizes, and we will get set to make one on our own. Today we're making a mariposa, or a butterfly if you speak only English. So what you want to do is decide the color that the butterfly is going to be. I'm going to make one blue, and so I need to fold my paper. I've got it like a landscape. I've got it horizontal. It's long and short, not tall and skinny. So I've got it this way. I want to fold it in half. I want to do my best job to fold this nice and neat. Now, I'm going to draw a line on here on the folded side. Now maybe mom or dad or somebody, maybe older brother or sister helps you with this part. Now the first part right up here, I'm drawing this with a pink, so hopefully you can see it. And then this loop comes down, and it's not pointed, but it's not as round and wide as this. Let me show you this a little closer. So I'm going to cut here and around, and then up and through, and then around, and then above. This is the body of the butterfly. These are the wings. Now, once I cut this out, you'll see what it is. And the side that I drew on is going to be the back side of my butterfly. That's where I'll put my name or glue some parts on, like the antennas and different things that I'm going to put onto this. And I would stick some tape there if I was going to stick this butterfly up. Now, so I've cut out, as I've been talking, I cut this out, and this makes an outline of a butterfly, which is kind of cool if you kept it together. And this could work for another drawing if you wanted to set this over and then draw your butterfly in. That works. That's one way of doing it, but I have this, and now I open it up, and then there's my butterfly. And it could be this way, it could be this way, but I think it's gonna look better this way. I'm looking for some white paper. I thought I had everything together when I started this, but you know, Mr.C doesn't always have his stuff together. Here we go. There is one big circle I need on both sides, so that's two, and then one small oval or circle. So I'm folding this piece of paper. Now I know that I need two of one and two of another, so this helps me if I want to. I can just cut this apart, and then I have my two separate sheets. Now, the small one is kind of this shape if I don't go too big. I kind of like to leave a little point on the edge, and this looks a little too big for it. So I've tried it, and I have to revise this. It's just too big. So I'm going to scoop in and cut some of that off. Let's see if that fits. Oh yes, much better. I'm glad I revised my butterfly part. And I want to put them on the same way. If I put it this way, it's not the same. Do you see the difference? This is pointing up, that's kind of rounding down. So flip that. And then that's half of the decoration on the butterfly. So I want this, and you know, you could do this with a light blue or another color too. Let's see if this fits. Oh yeah, that fits just fine. Do I have it the same way? Now I do, and that's great. So I have those parts of my butterfly. Now I need a black piece of paper, because I'm going to put those seed shapes, or what looks like to a predator as eyes. So I need antennas and I need eyes. And if I'm folding my paper, those things come quickly. So my antennas are long, kind of bent shapes with almost a knob on the edge of it. And I'm cutting this, but I want it to be thick enough that it's not just gonna flop. So maybe I put this on behind here. Let me move my paint out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. Put this on like this. All right, and then he's got, or she, mariposa, my butterfly, has antennas to see and smell and sense. And let me move that and that. And so all I need here are these seed shapes. Now I have this, and I'm going to cut this apart so I can easily work with it. Now these will be my large seed shapes. It's kind of like a pumpkin seed. I'm forgetting the name in Spanish, but pepita. It's like a kind of a seed shape, like a pumpkin seed shape. But now it looks like it's staring at us, doesn't it? Now you can move these this way, but I like them this way. They look more like eyes to me. These, remember, need to be much smaller. So let's try to make them smaller. And they're kind of pointy on the edges, almost like an eye shape, like an eye shape. Well, they're a little bit long, but they work. Let me move this into the frame. All right, and if you wanted to create a bigger one, well, you just take a double-sized sheet of paper. Look how big that is. Folding this in half, and then I'm going to put this to the side, and I will show you how to glue it shortly, very soon. This was the folded side. Here is the notch, and then big and round, and then come down, and then have this shape, and then come here. So we'll cut that out together. I don't want anything on this to be square. Butterfly is a totally natural, organic shape, so it is rounded. There are not many things in nature that are square. I mean, you might see patterns or rocks or formations that look that way, but in animals, you don't see a lot of squares. They're more rounded shapes, like humans. So there is the cutout of that. And throwing this away. Let me open this up. Boom! Look at that big butterfly. And since I cut two at once, there's two. So that's kind of crazy. I'm going to put this over the top of this. And it makes a really neat frame. Now, I'm only asking you to make a butterfly today. Out of paper, if you can. But if you can only draw it, don't skip the shapes. And please spend enough time to do your best work. You know, it takes me at least 10 minutes to make a good butterfly. It might take you longer, and that's okay, because maybe you haven't practiced as many times as Mr. C has teaching art all these years. Probably not. I have done this quite a few times, and that's why I'm pretty good at it. I practice. Now I'm pressing that on to make sure it stays. And I want to make sure that I have my directions the same. I want to try that on before I'm sure of it. And I have to move things and scoot things. And it's close. That's not bad. Now, there's this trick that I know where I dip it in a little bit of glue and then I just put it on. So I'm trying that trick. Did you know this trick? And it can be tricky to put things on in the correct way. You might put it on backwards and have to change it. That's okay too. That's how we learn. So I want this to go up there. It looks kind of spooky and menacing, doesn't it? It is trying to scare off predators. Like, I am a big face, you don't want to eat me, right? I'm bigger than I actually am. Well, butterflies are really tiny and thin and light. And the fascinating thing I've learned, about mariposa or butterflies, is the parents that came to my yard and enjoy the nectar of flowers that I grew. Their children may come back next summer or spring, but it won't be the same butterfly. It will be the babies, the offspring, their children. They will fly right back to my garden, and they will enjoy the nectar of the flowers that their parents enjoyed. It's in their genetic memory. It is the craziest thing, but they think together like one animal, or in this case butterfly, has a thought. They all know that thought. So they come back every year, but it's their children and then their grandchildren and then their great-grandchildren, so long as you still have those flowers growing that they want to enjoy. I hope you've enjoyed making a butterfly today. It's simple. You just fold a piece of paper, cut a big loop shape, cut a smaller loop shape on the bottom. We have this cut out to show the whole thing. It's a lump here in the middle, but when we fold it, you see it's almost a circle, almost an oval, and then it joins together there at a body. Show me either your drawing or your cutting or however you made a butterfly today, and you can hang this on your window. It's a good sign of spring. Really, they come around in summer when it gets really warm. They start moving up from Mexico. Show me your butterfly and say mariposa. Thank you, boys and girls.